Some indigenes of Ogoniland in Rivers State have expressed concern that their fish and periwinkles remain contaminated with oil spills, despite ongoing remediation efforts by the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project. The fisherfolk, drawn from Gbee, K-Dere, and Nweemuu communities, spoke at a multi-stakeholder dialogue themed Restoring Rivers, Reviving Livelihoods, Renewing Lives, held at Kpor, headquarters of Gokana Local Government Area, on Wednesday. The program drew participants from several Ogoni fishing communities, HYPREP representatives, the University of Port Harcourt, civil society organizations, the Nigeria Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, youths, women, and other stakeholders. In their presentations, affected persons, including Chief Nadabel John, Chief Emmanuel Pii, and Madam Grace Namon, said their farmlands, vegetation, and water bodies remained heavily impacted by oil spills. They added, "Our fish and periwinkles still have the smell of crude oil when we catch and cook them for consumption." Convener of the dialogue and investigative journalist with the Pulitzer Centre for Crisis Reporting, Anuoluwapo Adelakun, stated that the initiative arose from an information gap between HYPREP and local communities. She noted that independent research conducted with the University of Port Harcourt revealed that water sediments in the studied communities still contained heavy metals such as nickel, a known carcinogen, noting that fish like tilapia have high concentrations of these metals. We came to Ogoniland to study pollution, remediation, and livelihoods, focusing on rivers, wetlands, water bodies, and aquatic organisms. We took samples from Bodo, K-Dere, Gbee, and Mogo because people are still engaging with the water and eating the fish. The samples showed extremely high levels of heavy metals and petroleum hydrocarbons. People consuming these fish and periwinkles are at risk of serious illness, especially children, Adelakun said. She further observed that while HYPREP reported 70% mangrove restoration and 20% shoreline cleanup, families continued to consume contaminated seafood daily. Independent research in collaboration with the University of Port Harcourt reveals that children eating fish in many parts of Ogoni face a high cancer risk, among other health issues, she warned. Responding, technical assistant to the HYPREP Project Coordinator on Shoreline Cleanup, Peter Lenu, argued that seafood such as periwinkles could not survive in heavily oil-polluted areas. Talking about fish, especially periwinkles, fisherfolk collect them from areas laden with hydrocarbons or fresh crude oil. Scientifically, periwinkles cannot survive in fresh hydrocarbon. That is an area we need to clarify, Lenu said. He stressed that HYPREP's cleanup, which will take 25 to 30 years as indicated in a United Nations Environment Programme report, was ongoing. For areas previously contaminated with baseline values over 20,000 mg per kilogram, current readings of 277. 5 mg per kilogram show about 98% cleanup success. This demonstrates significant progress, though the process continues, he explained. Livelihoods also detailed HYPREP's ongoing remediation strategies, including the enhanced natural attenuation process, and announced the award of second-phase contracts in 5 affected communities, set to commence before the end of the first quarter of 2026. He highlighted that some contamination may result from agricultural runoff, emphasizing that health studies in partnership with the World Health Organization were underway to monitor the long-term impact of oil spills on Ogoni residents. Mangrove planting and shoreline cleanup are conducted concurrently. In Nweemuu, over 1.5 million mangrove seedlings covering 560 hectares have been planted and are thriving. Cleanup continues in other areas, and mangroves will be planted once certified safe, Livelihoods said.